Hello everyone and welcome back to my Duelyst video series produced in partnership with Counterplay Games. Today I want to do another one of my deck tech style videos, and this week we're going to be looking at Magmar Midrange. Let's jump right in. So here is the Magmar deck that I'm playing right now. This is a little bit different than the version that I'd been playing previously. I was previously playing a Flash Reincarnation based version. But I wasn't really happy with how sort of inconsistent some of the tools in the deck were, and I wasn't really happy with how slow the deck could be when you just drew a bunch of your big minions and didn't draw a lot of your ramps. So this is a much more mid-range focused deck, and I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. So the really core cards in this deck are the Magmar removal effects and the efficient Magmar minions. Cards like Young Silithar, Earth Sphere, Eggmorph. These two are probably the anchor of the deck. The Earth Sphere and Eggmorph are cards that allow you to both deal with large individual minions, with Eggmorph being able to deal with an Imara healer, any big buffed minion is extremely effective. Earth Sphere is one of the best individual healing effects in the game. 8 health from a single card is huge. It's more expensive than something like Sundrop Elixir, but it is just a huge number that can allow you to use your general as removal throughout the game without really necessarily having to worry a ton about your health total. And that's a big deal because Vath, who is our general, has the Bloodborne spell of Overload, give your general +1 attack. This is really the big reason that I'm playing this particular iteration of the deck, because I think that Vath's Bloodborne spell Overload is really powerful, allowing you to just kind of brawl with your opponent, just end the game through damage and just pushing hits to your opponent's face once you're pumping up your own attack. You also just have very effective tools as we scroll down here a bit. Veteran Silithar is pound for pound one of the best minions in the game. The fact that it is 4/5 for 4 is already pretty reasonable. It's a decent stat line. And then Rebirth makes it very difficult for your opponent to remove effectively in a lot of situations. So just overall a very, very effective minion. Dancing Blades is a relatively recent addition to the deck. It used to have more of, as I mentioned, the Flash Reincarnations, things like that. This is just going with the more board-centric, removal-centric focus of the deck. As you can see, I only have 2 big minions, 2 Silithar Elders. These are kind of the late game plan against decks that you have a tendency to go fairly late against. And then the powerful combination, not necessarily a combination, but duo of Spirit Harvester and Manticore Warbeast give you a lot of ability to control the board against small minions, as well as, in particular with Warbeast, push damage to your opponent. And then Metamorphosis, in particular in combination with Spirit Harvester, is excellent at just clearing out more of the big minions your opponents might get down that might have dodged Eggmorph. One of the more unusual cards in the deck is probably the Adamantite Claws. This is actually a card that I was a big fan of early in Duelyst. Kind of fell out of favor when I sort of understood the game a bit better. But this is a card that I think, in particular, since the change to single card draw, is a lot more powerful. Because players are less likely to have a bunch of individual minions in play in lots of situations, so they're less likely to hit you with multiple things in a turn. And getting value out of a card like Claws to be able to kill multiple minions is also quite effective. If you claws your opponent's minion down, you've effectively removed a card of theirs for just 1 charge of your Adamantite Claws. But more importantly, in a lot of cases, this is actually a great finisher. I mentioned earlier that I really like the ability to just kind of brawl with Overload from Vath. And I really like the fact that you can often just set up turns where you Overload up, Adamantite Claws up, and just kill your opponent from even a relatively high health total. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into some games, and I will talk through the deck more as we play.
Magmar versus Songhai.
Alright, well, we are playing against Songhai, Hand of Vecna. Our opponent apparently a D&D fan. So we are first here. I'm going to go ahead and against someone playing Reva. So Reva generally has a lot of minions with ranged and various buffs for them, or at least buffs for the minions they are looking to to play. I'm going to mulligan one of the Healing Mystics. I kind of want to keep the Claws and Eggmorph, though at the same time I don't really have anything to play on turn 2 effectively. We'll replace the Claws. A lot of range minions would be difficult for me to get to anyway with Claws, so I'm going to rely on Eggmorph as my removal here. So another Silithar and another Healing Mystic. We'll replace one of the Healing Mystics. Silithar I think are generally stronger than Healing Mystic, especially in the early turns of the game. Let's play that here. Ephemeral Shroud is nice to pick up. This is a card that I'd actually added in place of Kujata, which was previously in the more ramp-focused version. There's lots of decks that have lots of buffs these days. Vitruvian is one of the most popular decks on the ladder right now, and having Ephemeral Shroud to remove Scion's Second Wish is often very effective. Alright, so an Assassin here. And, well, now I kind of wish I had that Adamantite Claws. I'm just going to go ahead and replace one of these. I don't really need the 2 of them at the moment. And then I'm going to move here. We'll attack this. And then I'm going to go ahead and heal myself and play another Young Silithar. I'm actually going to just block this off entirely. So currently my opponent has access to this. I want to ensure that I maintain access to this, and he can't get to that. So we'll just play this here, because this can still allow me to play 5 worth of cards next turn. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And there's a Dancing Blade, so that's an excellent 5 if we move down to this. So there's no real reason for me to take this Mana Spring Tile at the moment. Alright, a Primus Fist. Is he going to teleport that? Killing Edge, okay. Hitting me for 8. Alright. And this is a situation where I can potentially just kill this with an Ephemeral Shroud. I can also just trade a minion into it. Trading one of these minions into it is kind of appealing at the moment, simply because, for one, I have Young Silithars I can trade in, and 2, I have an opportunity to use a Dancing Blades here. First things first, we're going to replace a Silithar Elder. We only have 4 mana at the moment, not really a great position for that. Warbeast is fairly attractive, actually, though we're not going to have an opportunity to use that right now. I think I'm just going to go down here with my General. We'll play a Dancing Blades to remove this. And then I will trade this 2-1 into this guy, because it's going to die next turn anyway. And then I'm just going to attack my opponent with both of these Young Silithars. And I'll pass the turn. Metamorphosis is a good card, though it's not something I'm really looking for right now. Not at this stage of the game, at least. So against Songhai, and particularly against Songhai that's looking to be sort of aggressive with these buffs, I need to be fairly careful about how I manage my life total. So we're going to replace this Metamorphosis, I think. We have an Eggmorph, which I think is a better overall tool for these purposes. It's another Eggmorph. So I think actually I'm just going to use an Eggmorph on this Lantern Thox to prevent my opponent from getting a Phoenix Fire from it. I could just dispel it with an Ephemeral Shroud, but I think this is a better opportunity to do this. And I can actually use Overload. We're going to have one of these attack this. And I'm going to move up here and attack this with my face. And I actually think I'm just going to use my Young Silithar to attack my opponent here. I have quite a bit of bodies in play already. If my opponent is forced to attack into this with his General, that means his General isn't moving, and we can take advantage of that next turn. Otherwise, this will just come back on next turn. I'm going to pass. It actually might have been a mistake where it's going to go ahead and dispel me. Oh, how rude. I was going to say, that might have been a mistake where I actually attacked with this. I could have moved this first. Ooh, this is actually going to go gloriously for me. So he summoned this here. I'm just going to move this guy here. Play my War Beast here. It's important to recognize War Beast's Frenzy ability. Obviously extremely powerful when you can get multiple things in it. This is getting all three. So with a minion with Frenzy, you generally want to attack the weakest thing nearby it. So we're going to attack this. It takes 1 damage. And this is just going to go ahead and push damage to my opponent's face. Oh, and yeah, my opponent recognizes this is a tough game to win and is going to go ahead and just choose to concede. So that was a little quick. Let's just jump into another one after that. All right, well, here we are in a Magmar mirror match. It's a pretty weak opening hand. I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this and one of these. Looking for some early plays. Now this is one of the unusual opening hands. We don't actually have a 2-drop, but we do have a Vindicator. Our opponent actually didn't play anything on turn 1, so we have a little bit of flexibility here. We're going to go ahead and replace... So if our opponent has, moves up, we can move up here and play a Vindicator over here, which can then move here, and we can potentially, take this and play another minion. So I don't actually want to replace anything because we have multiple. Well, we have 2 5s. We have no 4 if we don't have the opportunity to take a minion or to take a tile. I'm going to play this and move it up here. So this can move to here. If he has a... Ooh, he's going to flash. Okay. And this is the more, ramp version. Oh, this is a very ramping version. Double flash into a Silithar Elder. Okay. Well, that's tough to beat. We do have an Egmorph at the moment, but I can just move here and play a Spirit Harvester behind me, and then I can potentially egg this next turn. Alright, this is our plan. This guy's going to move here. I'm going to play a Spirit Harvester here, which will kill his egg. And this guy we can actually kill potentially with Blood Tear or Dancing Blades next turn, and then Spirit Harvester will kill it. So he's just gonna punch me in the face. All right. I think I'm gonna beat the turn 2 Elder here. He didn't do anything else in this turn, but he had he had a hand that was. Yeah, this is glorious. All right, we're gonna move up. And Dancing Blades, killing this. And now my Harvester will kill the 2 eggs at the end of the turn. I think it may be time to punch him in the face. Do I want to mulligan anything? I don't think so. I can attack him for 7 now. Actually, I don't think I attack with this because then he can kill it with a... Oh no, this guy won't take damage. Okay. Here we go. Just gonna attack him with both of these. This guy's gonna trigger to kill both of these. I don't think I want to replace anything. My hand's actually pretty good for both closing out the game with claws as well as dealing with other big minions or some sort of race situation. Maybe this is bad because of a possible Mangator, because you can walk up, play Mangator, kill both of these. Just gonna brawl that. Oh my! Well, this is getting awkward. We can Egmorph this and kill it. Because the only minion that died this game so far is the Elder, so that does a lot of damage. If I can actually Egmorph this, Claws, use this to attack that, so we can kill all of his stuff. Alright. Actually, no, I can't Claws as well as Magmar, of course. So, can't Claws, we're just going to go ahead and hit this. Play this guy, and this guy's going to run away. We'll pass. There's my Silithar Elder, which I can potentially rush off of my Vindicator next turn. War Beast, okay. Yeah, maybe this was poorly positioned against War Beast, but this is actually okay. Yeah, no, I just kill him. This goes and kills this. This attacks this. This guy moves over here. I play Elder on here. I'll get Rush. I move up here. I overload. And that's 11. Oh, that was a sweet game. There's definitely a lot of individual decisions in the middle there with my specific positioning against War Beast that maybe I could have done a bit better. But being able to take down a turn 2 Elder and then a Keeper of the Veil, returning an Elder, kind of a hallmark of a deck that at least is doing something pretty powerful. And there we are. Boom! Diamond, baby. Well, that is going to be it for this video. So I'll be back next time with a little bit deeper look at the Magmar Midrange deck. So thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you think of this video and any other decks you might want to see me cover in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.